Hello friends, welcome to today's session. See the prelims notification for the 2017 which will be held on 18th of June. So it's already out. Some of the friends who are not aware of this, so kindly visit the UPSC website and you can just fill up your application form if you want to appear for prelims exam this year. And it's very simple. The form is very simple. You just have to fill in your names and your mother's name, father's name, date of birth, your email ID, mobile number, and be very careful while you fill up the number of times that you have attempted UPSC civil service exams. And the same form is applicable if you want to sit for the Indian Forest Service. So the prelims exam is common for both of them, and mains exam so once you qualify the prelims, of course for the Forest Service the prelims cutoff goes very high every year, even higher than that for the civil services. So once the prelims results are out, then if you qualify, then you will have to give separate exams for civil service mains and separately for the Forest Service mains. So that was all from the filling up of application form and all. We now come to the timetable, that is how you can prepare for prelims exam with hardly 3.5 months left at hand. The exam is on 18th June, and we must keep in mind that we have to complete our syllabus, at least reading it once, not once, maybe twice in advance. Just at the within beginning of May, we should finish the syllabus, and then when we will go on for first round of revision and a second round of revision, and then finally we go for the exam. So here I have prepared a timetable, and you can always prepare your own timetable as per your own convenience, but this is what I have prepared, and I am very happy to share this with you. So you might find it useful, so just have a look at it. See, we are now in the month of February, and I take it that we'll be wasting a few more days, like not wasting, maybe studying for mains and all this. I just leave it up to 20th of February, 28th of February, and then my timetable goes on from 1st of March, and it goes up till 8th of May. See, it's a bit tight packed schedule. Like for following the timetable, you have to read for at least 6 to 7 hours per day, and which is the bare minimum I feel you should put in, and any aspirant must put in for giving a fair competition in the exam. So let's begin. From 1st March our timetable starts, and we go on up to 6th March with the ancient history. I have already discussed about what are the books that are to be followed for preliminary examination in particular. So the book lists are already provided in a separate video. If any of you haven't gone through it and would like to know about it, then kindly go through that video. And after we finish this ancient history from 1st to 6th March, 7th March has been kept for revision and last 10 years UPSC paper. You must pick that up and solve the MCQs corresponding to the ancient history. Then we move on to 8th of March to 12th of March. Here we have to focus on the modern Indian history, the small book of spectrum that I have mentioned earlier in my videos. So it's better we follow that book only, because that's a concrete book. It's complete in itself, and most of the questions, whatever as per the past trends, the questions that have been coming in UPSC, so mostly if one covers that book overall, you will be able to answer it. Now 13th, it's written miscellaneous. Now what's miscellaneous? Miscellaneous are those tidbit topics you will get after I think page number 250 of that modern Indian history book of spectrum, where you will get a list of the newspapers that were written by several people. For example, Vandi Jeevan written by Sachin Sanyal, and all these type of newspapers. There will be the Vande Mataram newspaper, and there are different newspapers. So there is a list given at the back, and you have to mug up that list. Second is what are the administrative changes, what are the political changes that came up after the revolt of the 1857. So mostly this part, like what are the changes that came up after the revolt, this part is mostly for the mains perspective, mains exam perspective. For prelims, you just have to look are any facts written in there, like Wood's dispatch. You will find that it's written over there. So these are the small facts, like what is the carrot and stick policy. So these are the things which are the facts which you should learn from there. And I think you will be able to browse through the pages very fast, the last few pages. And another thing is that the important Congress sessions, okay, like the 1905 session, the 1906 session, the Surat split. So at that particular year, you have to remember who was the president of Congress at that time, at the particular year where an important event like Surat split, etc. has occurred. So that list too is given at the back of that book. You can read it from there. On 14th, you will have to devise the modern Indian history and also the last 10 years paper. Just quickly browse through it. Next, we move on from 15th to 27th March. I have deliberately given too much time in this polity part because it's very important, and slowly you have to absorb things and not just mugging it, but you have to understand, because the questions might not come straight from that book on Lakshmikant as the past trends. Earlier the questions used to come direct, but nowadays they are giving more of an application oriented question where the answer is hidden within the book. But until and unless you understand the entire topic, you will not be able to solve that MCQ. And on 28th, we can browse through the last 10 years paper again. Now the next one is the art and culture. Now this is a very huge broad thing. I have already told you before. So we will not waste too much time, and we will also not skip it, because it has become important as the recent trend goes for both prelims and mains. So questions will come. It is at least supposed to come from this section. So just 29th and the 30th, 2 days I think will be enough for reading the CCRT material. And if not 2 days, you can take 1 day extra, this side or that side, and you can complete the CCRT book and the NCRT book, which I have already told you. On the 31st, you can just browse through the last year's papers. Then we move on from 1st of April to 15th of April. Again, this is the economics part, so you have to be very thorough with the basics, like what is a repo rate, what is a reverse repo rate, what is the monetary policy, what is a fiscal policy, what is balance of payment, and all these things. The basic part you have to be very thorough with. Then you move on to study the economic survey and the budget. See, these two are the lifelines of economics. If you do not study the economic survey and the budget, then you might find it difficult to answer MCQs, because previous year in 2016 we have all seen that questions have directly been asked from the economic survey. They have just copy pasted the line from there, and the options also they had given in such a way that if you have even gone once through that chapter or through that line, then you will just at the back of your mind somewhere those things will reflect. So you just go through the economic survey and budget. Then on 16th, again just browse through the previous year's paper. Then we move on to geography from 17th of April to 24th April. And geography, I think again the basic concepts are very important. The different types of rainfall, the coral reefs, the like the landforms, the various kinds of landforms, the earthquake, volcanoes, and like what are the things that are given in the 11th and 12th NCERT and the GC Leong book. So there are many things you will find in common in between the NCERTs and the GC Leong. So you just stick to the NCERTs, I will suggest, because GC Leong is an extra book that we are studying to be on the safe side. Otherwise NCERTs are sufficient, and UPSC just recommends us to stick to NCERTs. Then again on 25th we will just solve the papers, and on 26th to 7th of May we will just browse through the environment. Now geography and environment I have purposefully kept it one after the other, because you will get a lot of help. You will understand that okay, this particular animal will or this particular vegetation will grow in this place, like because there is too much rainfall, like tropical evergreen forests. So it will be in a place where there is heavy rainfall, and once you read rain, different types of rains and how they occur, then it will not be very difficult for you to remember all these things. Otherwise if you read environment in the beginning, you might think, if you are especially a student who has left all these subjects after class 12 or 10, and you have been doing specialization in a particular field, then you might find it difficult if you read environment in the beginning and geography the second. So this strategy might help. And then on 8th of May we'll solve the paper of environment. So in this way we can complete almost all the topics from March to first week of May, and then we can go for our first round of revision. So that particular revision set, how to do that, I will be uploading after, I think, March, okay, or in the beginning of April I will be uploading that. There is no need to worry. You can for the time being stick to this timetable, or even make your own timetable, or you can change this timetable as per your own convenience, in whichever way you find it suitable. And I hope it will help in your preparation. And if you have not filled up that UPSC Prelims 2017 form for appearing in the exam on 18th June, and if you are willing to give examination this year, so kindly visit the website of UPSC and fill up the form. So that's all for today. Thank you and have a good day.